What are my alternatives to foreclosure? Hi, my name is Tony Watkins from the STL Short Sale Specialist, and today I'm going to talk about the alternatives to foreclosure. This is a short sale website, but we like to give all homeowners all the option so that they're informed and they can make a right decision when it comes to a short sale. Let's take a look at the list. Number one is to do nothing. Now, I see a lot of homeowners do this when we knock on their doors and ask them, what they're planning on doing, and they just say, we're not going to do nothing. We're going to live here as long as we can, and we're going to let the bank take the property back into foreclosure. That is an alternative, but I believe, it's the wrong alternative, but it is an alternative. Number two is to pay off the liens. Just because you're late on your payments, if you have equity, you can still sell the house, pay off all the liens, and get out of the mess. Number three would be to reinstate the loan. Now, a lot of people fall behind 2 or 3 payments, and they don't realize that at any point in the foreclosure process, they have the right to reinstate the loan. So if you get enough money to pay let's say you have 3 late payments, you pay the 3 late payments plus the attorney's fees and any other late fees, you can bring the loan current and the bank will stop their foreclosure process. Option number 4 is a loan modification. Now, a couple years ago, the government announced this big, huge program that was going to help 4 million people. But anybody that's listened to the news lately has been quite clear that the loan modification program has been a failure. So what does a loan modification do? If you can qualify for the loan modification, they're going to lower your interest rate for 3 to 5 years. So really it's just kind of a band-aid to the problem. In most people's situation, in 3 to 5 years, they're going to basically be back in the same situation they are now unless things improve in their life. So the next step would be a forbearance. Basically what a forbearance is, if you are 3 payments behind, the bank can take those 3 payments and put it on the back of the loan. You're still going to have to make those 3 payments up, but you will make them at the end of the loan and not at the present time. The next step would be a partial claim, which I've never seen done. But basically what it is if you have a first and a second mortgage, you could always take and ask the second mortgage and call them and say, look, I need to borrow some money because I'm behind on the first payment, so would you lend me some money on the second so that I can pay the first? I've never seen this done, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. The next one is deed in lieu of foreclosure. Now this one, a lot of people try to do this. I mean, the banks are calling people and asking them to do it, and it's kind of, you're given the keys to the bank. And sometimes you might even have a cash for keys program where the bank will offer, if you deed this property back to the bank, they might be able to pay you a small fee to do that. But the property has to be free of all liens. The house must be totally cleaned out, swept, and just basically clean. But a deed in lieu of foreclosure is still going to show up as a foreclosure on your credit. So no matter how you slice it, it's still going to be a foreclosure. So there is a deed in lieu would basically be a worst case scenario. If you try a short sale or try a loan modification or one of those other steps above, if those don't work, the last worst case scenario would be to try to do a deed in lieu of foreclosure. The next step would be a bankruptcy. And there's a lot of misinformation about a bankruptcy, especially from bankruptcy attorneys. A lot of the bankruptcy attorneys will just tell their clients, file bankruptcy, forget about the house, just give it back to the bank. I feel that that's very bad advice, and I'm not an attorney. This is just my opinion. I'm not giving legal advice. But if you file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and you give the house up, the bank still has to foreclose on that property. So basically, you're going to have a double whammy on your credit. You're going to have a bankruptcy and you will have a foreclosure. And it's always better to either have one or the other, but not both. I would recommend, even for somebody that's filing bankruptcy, to still consider a possible short sale, if that's an option that you choose. And last but not least, this is the reason for this website, is a short sale. And a short sale is basically asking the lender to accept less than what is owed on a property. So let's say you have a property, you owe $100,000, but the property is only worth $80,000. You can ask the bank to accept $80,000 and basically release that lien on the property. Now it's up to a good negotiator to get a release of lien and forgiveness of deficiency. There you have it, the alternatives to foreclosure. So if you have any questions or concerns, my name is Tony Watkins. You can email me at theshortsaleteam@yahoo.com, or you can visit our website at www.stopstlouisforeclosure.com. Thank you and have a nice day.